Welcome to Disney Red Panda, a podcast about all the crafting projects that have us dizzy with excitement. This week we have knitting and cross stitch.
I'm Katie. I'm from Duluth, Minnesota, which is right on the shore of Lake Superior, and on Instagram and Ravelry, I'm known as Nerdy in Plaid.
And I'm Cheryl, just outside St. Paul, Minnesota, on Ravelry as Red and Instagram as Red Knitter.
Show notes and links can be found right down below, and if you have any questions about anything, go ahead and drop us a comment. Mm-hmm. So let's start out. We have a couple of things going on that are big deals to us, but not impacting the greater world. But, we'll take it as we can. So first,
It's in our happy corner.
Yes, it's a nice little happy corner. I feel like maybe we should be part of a Bob Ross painting with a happy little tree or two.
Oh, I would love that.
I agree. I loved watching him as a kid. Anyway, so one bright thing is that I am officially on spring break right now, so I have a week off. Yay. To greet me to this spring breakness. So on Saturday, like the day after we got off of spring break, we got 3 to 4 inches of snow, which was great fun. And then when the plows went by, it's about a foot of snow right in front of my driveway and car.
Right.
It was great fun. Later in the week, we're supposed to get icy rain and sleet to add to a fun bunch, like mix of fun. But we are supposed to have like 34 and 35 degree temperatures, which I'm really excited about.
Yes, it's in the 30s here right now, which is great because we were outside this morning building snow forts because we have so much snow that you can build forts out of them.
Which is pretty amazing and something that if you have a big enough snow pile, you should absolutely take advantage of that. Yeah.
For sure. It's something that my husband and I both remember fondly from when we were kids, and we just haven't gotten that much snow in recent years to be able to do it. So it was pretty fun to be out there this morning.
Oh, fun. That sounds great. And I will look at your Instagram later to see pictures of the snow forts.
They're out there.
Let's see. We also have a cal going on. And when I say a cal, I mean knit along, spin along, crochet along, make along. I don't really care what it is. But as long as it's bright colors, we're going for it. There are no prizes. This is just share some color that is not white, gray, brown to make my life happy. Mm-hmm. I mean, I admit it's kind of for selfish reasons. But go ahead and use that brighten up cal if you're on Instagram and knitting with any fun colors.
Yes, please.
I know that we'll have a couple of entries, and I'm going to use that term fairly loosely because we are not giving prizes or major recognition for it. But I know that we both have been working on things to kind of deal with that lack of color in our life. Mm-hmm. So,
yeah.
Any other major things going on with you?
That's the big stuff right now.
All right. So let's go on to what we're wearing or what you're wearing, because you're much better about wearing your knits apparently than I am.
I like to wear my knits for the podcast. It makes me happy. I've maybe worn this one before. I can't remember. This is my Eastlake shawl by Gudrun Johnston. I wear this a ton. Like it's in Dreamin' color, smooshy chocolate night. So very dark chocolate color.
That's such a great yarn.
Yeah. It's great, and it goes with lots of stuff. So I wear this one quite a bit.
Is it a triangle shape or a crescent shape?
It is.
Okay.
I think it's triangle. You have me doubting myself.
It's a triangle.
It's a triangle.
It has a point. It's a triangle. Gudrun Johnson also does a lot of haps and half haps. So I guess I'm not surprised that it's a triangle.
Anyway. Yeah, it's a fun one. I taught a class on this a few years ago. A lot of years ago now, I guess. And it was a fun class to teach too.
All right. I realized that this year is our 10-year friendship anniversary. I know, isn't that sweet?
That's precious. We'll have to have some sort of celebration next fall. August, right? It would be like mid-August.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is when we started grad school together, and that's how we met. So.
Yeah, I think we'll have to have some sort of fabulous cake or something.
Yes, we'll go for cake.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Maybe combined with our yarn shop run, because there's cake right next door to the yarnery.
That's very true. And you can't,
Let's make
it's
that
really
happen.
hard to turn down like cafe latte cake.
Mm-hmm. I think we should do that.
I think
Put it
that
on the calendar.
I'll find the exact date. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
I bet I could find it.
I'm betting you can because you're.
I bet I could, because I think I put that on job applications for like when they want the exact date that you
Oh.
start. So I bet I have it somewhere.
Yep, all right, let's talk about finished objects.
Do you want to go first or should I?
It doesn't matter to me. I can, because I have
go first.
Smaller ones. So these are still a little bit damp because I finished them yesterday, and I finished them Friday night and yesterday morning, and so they're just getting blocked. So they don't have palms yet, but they are going to have obnoxious palms.
Yay!
So this is a seed stitch hat that I just made up. I think I used 72 stitches on the cast on, and then I added a 73rd stitch. I made a stitch so that I wouldn't have to deal with the beginning of the round. But then I forgot about that as I was going into decreases. So my decreases are all over the place, but you can't tell because it's super textured. So here is...
I love that yarn so much.
This yarn is so fun.
Do they ever vend that I can see them in person?
The Lemonade Shop, I think they're actually out of Colorado. I'm probably going to be wrong on that one. So this yarn is by the Lemonade Shop, and this is their bulky weight in Toxic Oreo Unicorn, which I think is the best color name. Mm-hmm. So it is white with black speckle. Ooh, that's super speckly. With black speckles, and then you get these like super runs of color, neon color, which are great. Has a website and an Etsy shop because they'll use those interchangeably, I think. But I also believe they have a brick and mortar store, I think, from what I've seen.
Okay, so for the friendiversary, maybe we need to expand our plans.
To go, yeah.
It's been a decade.
It has been a decade. Sorry, I have a cat in the background who's playing with a box, and I'm just going to leave her be with that. So if there's some ambient noises, that's why. Yeah, I would be, brightly. She does a lot of great, like, rainbow, like, splashes of rainbow. So I'm going to put this on. So it's a little bit big, which is fine. It's a super wash, I believe, so I can toss it in the dryer if I need to. And then it's going to get a big black pom-pom, like an obnoxiously big pom-pom, fur pom-pom, fake fur pom-pom.
It deserves it.
Yeah. I went through all my pom-poms because I have a few, and I didn't have anything that was obnoxiously bright like this. So I decided to not match, but go for contrast. So yeah, this one is for me. Should I do my second one? I'm going to put another, Hair is relative today.
It's just going crazy on the one side.
Let me just do this. We'll do a hair break in the middle. Weirdly enough, I've been having I often get songs stuck in my head, so I've had the song Hair, the chorus of Hair from the musical Hair, stuck in my head this week.
I'm sorry.
It is what it is. Anyway, it's been great to sing along to, but I'm a little sick of it. So the second hat that I have is going to seem really tall. I'll theorize about that in a minute. So this yarn is another super crazy bright one. This is from Nitty and Color. This is in their indie rock worsted base. And it is called Neon Lotus. Put this yarn on Instagram as an advertisement. I was like, I need that in more than one base. So I also have it as a sock yarn. This hat is essentially a Violet Waffles hat. I used the Violet Waffles hat as a free pattern on Ravelry, and it calls for DK weight yarn, but I size up to a worsted and it works just fine. So I cut out some of the stitches. This hat is also missing a giant white pom-pom, which will be obnoxious, and it's probably like a 6-inch pom-pom. It's great. So that will go on top. But this hat is going to a friend. So I cast on 88 stitches, which I was a little concerned about, but it's going to be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, this, as I blocked it, I mean, I didn't pin it out or anything. I just lay it out. I laid it out. So it might need to get popped in the dryer for a few minutes, but that's okay. But yeah, another fantastic colorway, and I'm excited about this.
That's so much fun.
I know. I'm like, this has kept me going this week. So some of my other works in progress have not gotten worked on at all. I'll talk about that when we get there. But because these bright hats have really been what I've needed.
You're really kicking off our Cal nicely.
Yeah, I'm hoping, I think I need to go through my stash this week, and I have to do that anyway, but to find some obnoxiously bright colors as well. You have something that's really nice and cozy, though, that I think will be.
I'm very excited. So I have just one finished object this week, but it's a big one.
Yay!
It's Lillian cardigan. It's done. It's seamed. And it's great. Yeah, this is hot off of the darning needle. I've had the pieces done for a while, but I finished the seaming up last night, and the seaming took a while. Like, it took several hours for me to get the whole thing seamed.
Really?
Several of those hours, within the several hours, were done during long corporate-y work meetings. So, yay for...
So it wasn't your sole attention.
Exactly.
Got it.
But yeah, this has been, I mentioned before, this is a free pattern, and it's been really great. Like, it's a really smooth project. It fits me nicely. I had yarn to spare, which I can't say about some of my other projects lately. Like, it's just been great. It's been great. So the last thing that I had to do last night was to attach the cookie pockets. So I took care of that, and they were kind of a pain to attach because it's just like you knit a square and then you sew that on. And so you have to be really careful that you're not like sewing pieces of your sweater together that you don't want sewn together, and that you get everything placed where you want it. So that was a little bit annoying, but worth it.
But it looks great. It looks great.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, with the marl, if I hadn't done a good job, I don't think you would really see it very much. Like, it's a pretty hidden pocket. So that's fine. And then I followed your suggestion, Katie. And did some slip stitching around the little side slits so that they would be...
It looks great.
So they would be a little nicer. Because I figured, like, that's a little detail that could sort of draw the eye. So I wanted to make sure that those look nice.
That looks like it will be a nice comfy sweater, too.
It is. It is, and it covers my butt, so it'll be great with, like, leggings on just, like, a cozy work from home kind of day, but I could still, like, go out and about in it. So, yeah, I mean, I don't think it's the most beautiful sweater that I've ever knit, but it's going to be super cozy, and it's going to do what I want it to do, so.
I agree with that. I think that's wonderful.
Yeah, I'm excited to have that done. So I haven't taken pictures of it yet, but once I do, they'll be up on my Ravelry page, because I just can't show fit on our little video. Like, it's not
it doesn't work as well. You could take video and just send it to me, but that is a challenge, as we've discussed.
I think that's not going to happen. Be realistic, Katie.
That's true. We've tried it before, and it's taken like 18 hours as an estimated, and then it starts creeping up, and then we both give up and decide it's not worth it. Anyway.
Yeah. No. I'll post photos on my Ravelry and Instagram. Everybody can see them. I don't know if they're going to be up by the time you get this episode edited.
That's okay.
Because I'm traveling this week. So if they're not on the episode itself, you can go and check out my social media later.
Yeah. That will be a lot of fun. So my work in progress, which is my only work in progress that is actively getting attention this week. Let me be really clear about those stipulations that I've worked on it and the full moon on a Tuesday. I have plenty of works in progress, but this is the only one that has gotten any love. It is not involving baubles. I gave up on the baubles.
Did that one go in timeout?
It did. It's actually sitting right over here from where it was the last time I showed it on the podcast. It has not moved a bit. I should finish it up because it's so close to being a final object. Anyway, so I'm working on a shawl. I felt the need to have a shawl on the needles, and I had some really beautiful yarn. I wanted to jump on the mohair plus fingering weight bandwagon for some reason. I tried these two yarns together, and it didn't work, so I ripped and tried again. But here's my yarn. It's a gradient. Maybe you can see the gradient better this way.
That's pretty.
It is. It's a lovely, lovely yarn. This yarn is from Shopavola. It is from the Zauber family. So this is called Zauber Flower. This is color 2169, which is super descriptive.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And so they have like the Zauber balls, so the crazy balls, which are 2 plies that gradiate. And this is a single ply. I don't like single plies very much, but I was drawn to that blue to gray. I couldn't go without that. So this is another pattern by Heidi Allender. I did another pattern earlier this year, or late last year. It was a worsted weight. It was marigold color. I can't remember what it's called. I'll put it right down below here. But this one is called Eye Blink. It's a free pattern. So here you can see it's a crescent shaped because that's my favorite. And you're using this single ply on a US 7. Like, I am following this pattern to the letter, which is weird for me. I'm just getting to the lace portion right now. You can tell by all of the crazy numbers of stitch markers that I have. I am one of those people who puts a stitch marker, if at all possible, between every single repeat of lace. And Can
you tell the story of those stitch markers, please?
Of these?
Yes.
So these stitch markers are not uncommon to see, right? Like, these are the bulb stitch markers. I love these stitch markers. I know there are several companies that sell them, but you usually get them like 20 in a pack. And, well, I got sick of buying 20 in a pack. So naturally, what do? I went to Amazon. And this was a night where I suffer from insomnia. And so this was a night that I was definitely suffering from that. So me being on Amazon is a little bit dangerous anyway. I've learned not to be on Etsy. But I found these and I was like, 100 in a pack. I'm like, that's perfect. That will last me a while. And they were a really reasonable price. And they had them in other colors too. So I now have them in blue. But they're great. I love it. I was like, this is a great deal. So I get this pack and I get a box and it's about this big, which really isn't that bad, but it was chock full. Like, there were more than 100. So I went back to the order to see what my reading comprehension was, and I had ordered 1,000 of these. So if I ever run out of and this has been a couple of years now, and if I ever run out of stitch markers, it will be a shock. Because I know I've delivered like a decent size tin to you. And I've given them to various people, and I still have like this huge amount of stitch markers.
I gave some of mine to my cousin who's a knitter.
Yeah, so it's really the gift that keeps on giving. I think you can get 500 in various colors for under $10, and they're gonna last you a lifetime. So
okay, I see you.
So when you see all of these stitch markers, this is not me rating many, many packs of stitch markers. This is just my inability to read things late at night before I press the purchase button. So yeah.
Thank you. I love
You're
that
welcome. I felt a bit like an idiot when it happened, but at least it like happened in my favor. So I didn't pay under $10 for like 10 stitch markers. But yeah. So I'm literally one row into the lace. You can see an eyelet, and that's about it. So this yarn is fingering weight, but because it twists, it's a single ply. It feels like it's coming up a little bit lighter weight than that. And it's all, as even stockinette goes, it's all garbly. So it will become beautiful once it's blocked out. So, and I'm using a US 7 needle. So it's pleasant so far. I'm just getting into the hard part. So it was nice and travelable for a while. It's not anymore. All right, what are you working on? Because I know you have a couple of really interesting things happening.
Okay, so I was left to my own devices last weekend. And I thought, like I mentioned on our last episode, that I wanted to pick up cross stitch again, just for like something a little different. And so I was looking at this one kit that I had, and I decided I didn't want to do that one, but I did want to do something new. And so I bought this enormous pattern on Etsy. that is going to take me years to complete. But I haven't gotten the cloth for it yet. So I decided to go back to, this may be my most vintage UFO of all time. I think this is the oldest one that I still have on hand. Although I can always be surprised by something that's tucked away somewhere.
It's the tucked away part that is the key there, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And who knows, like when my parents move and they'll like come across something.
Yeah. Deliver
from my
it
childhood. Yes. Oh, I'm sure they'll deliver it to me. So this is me biding my time until I can get a hold of the proper cloth at the proper gauge for what I want to do on my massive one. I don't intend to finish this right now. I'm just gonna work on it.
I feel like with cross stitch, if it's massive, it's just meant to slowly be worked on, savored, right? If you will.
So this is a less massive one that I'm working on that is very ancient. It's a little like Santa. So most of it is the text of a letter to Santa, and then it's got some like snowy houses down below and like Santa's up here. It's all cute and Christmassy.
Oh, that's cute.
I was really into cross stitch when I was in like elementary and junior high school. This is probably from that era.
Okay.
I am in my 30s. That's how long this has been around.
Ancient. You are ancient.
Yeah. Well, this is ancient. This is from a 1989 issue of For the Love of Cross Stitch.
Oh my gosh.
That's why it is looking worse for wear. So I pulled this back out just to have something to work on, and it's been fun. It's been fun to work on it. So I had already done like the word, like the back stitching for the words. Mm-hmm. So that was already done, and I've just been working on the little houses at the bottom lately. So that's what I've been doing this week, and I had messed up. Like, I had previously picked this up again, I don't even remember when, a while ago, and I messed up some of my placement in here somewhere, and so I went back and I gridded out so that I could, not be as likely to mess it up. So that's something I will do from the beginning.
Can I ask a question about that gridding? Because I don't do fine needle crafts because I have very little patience. I aspire. But so when you put that gridding in, is that going to be easy to take out, and will it leave major marks in your cloth at all?
No, it'll come out because I'm using Ada cloth, so it's already got the little holes in it do the crosses. So no, it's not going to be an issue. Like, I'm just going to yank these out. And people have different ways of doing it. Like some people use a washable marker, and that just makes me really nervous. Yeah, I just don't.
Let me look really quick and see if I have one. I don't have one over here. I love the Frixion markers by Pilot. Mm-hmm. I just use them in my notebook, but they do go away with heat. So I'm careful about if I leave my planner out in my car in the summertime, suddenly my notes disappear. But they'll come back in the winter.
Just pop it in the freezer. They'll come back.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh. That's terrible. Yeah, so that's underway right now. Nice. And then as soon as I get the cloth for the other one, I'll probably abandon this one recklessly and work on the other one that is a lot brighter and a lot more fun.
Nice. What you also have a pre-whip.
Yes. Okay. So I wanted to talk about this one this time because I fully intend to binge knit it, and I don't think it will be around as an actual whip. So, my next project is going to be Flax Light by Tin Can Knits.
They have the cutest pattern pictures always. Yeah. I'm also a bit of a fangirl with them,
and of course it's Tin Can Knits, so it goes all the way up to like grown-up sizes,
and large grown-up sizes. Like it will fit me easily.
Yes, I think they do a great job with their range. So this is not going to be a me size. This is going to be my son size. So I will be making this size 2 to 4 years.
Nice.
With some adjustments, I think I'm going to lengthen the body.
Got it.
Because the last sweater I made him fits him really nicely. And I am using Speckles.
Oh, such fun yarn.
Yay! So this is from Knit Picks. This is their Hawthorne Fingering Confetti Speckle.
What a fun yarn.
So this is my Brighten Up project, like my primary Brighten Up Cal project. And I'm going on a work trip this week, and so I'm going to be gone. Like, I'm going to have air travel. I'm I'm going to have layovers, and then I'm going to be at a conference. So I think this is going to be done. Like, I think I'm going to cast it on the way, and I'm going to be done by the time I get back.
I think you will too. Just because it has, are you going to do the garter ridges on the sleeves? Okay.
Yeah, but in his size, it calls for 650 yards, and we're talking about a lot of conference time. So
I think you're going to be fine.
I think I'm going to be fine too.
Can I also point out
what?
That in the discussion of our conference knitting, because you said, here are my parameters. You said not fingering weight.
No, okay.
So maybe that needs to be clarified.
Let me clarify, Katie. So I texted Katie and I'm like, look, I don't think I have enough conference knitting for this trip I'm going on. I believe I need at least 800 yards.
Okay.
And I said,
project?
I need a second project. Okay. That's the issue. So I have 650 here approximately. And I said not fingering weight because this already is fingering weight.
That makes much more sense to me then.
Yes. So I don't want to, so please see previous episode regarding binge knitting. I don't want to bring a second fingering weight project because I would prefer to have projects at different gauges to save my hands when I am binge knitting. So I'm leaving on Wednesday very early, and I still haven't made up my mind what I'm going to do because I still have the beeswax mitts on the needles, and so I'm thinking I may just bring that along.
Okay.
It's not great knitting for the conference itself, but it would be fine for travel knitting.
Got it. So my suggestion is always a hat.
Right, and I have like 5 hat patterns pulled up on Ravelry right now.
You're good then.
So I might do that. It's just, honestly, it's a matter of if I can get myself together enough to, like, set up that hat project, because I would like to, I'm in the mood for a colorwork hat that I would then add a fur pom-pom onto.
Got it.
And so I would have to, like, get the colors together and such. And I'm not sure if I can make that happen with the other stuff that I need to do before I leave. I might bring 3 projects.
By the time this goes out, I suspect, like, when you leave, you're going to be like, so I only brought 5 projects with me. I'm down from the 7 I planned.
I just get very concerned about, like, you know, it's winter right now. Like, what if my flight gets delayed and I'm stuck in an airport and I don't have enough knitting? Then what do I do?
Absolutely. I completely understand that, especially with the snowstorms we've been having. Sorry, I got distracted by a cat. Scratching on.
It's okay.
Scratching on. Yeah, I completely understand that, but you also want to make sure you have enough room for clothes.
Right, and I'm also planning to do carry-on only this trip, which is not what I normally do. And, like, we fly Southwest west pretty much all the time, so it's not an issue of paying for it, but I just worry with such a tight trip, I don't want them to lose my luggage.
Right.
And then, like, I'm naked in Pittsburgh without my knitting or my clothes or my toothbrush. That's a problem. So, and that's just not how I normally travel, so I'm kind of figuring out how to do that too.
And that makes sense though. Well, because you'll have your carry-on and then, like, your purse, right?
My new purse that I'm very excited about. Exciting. Can't wait to use.
Nice. I don't really have any next up from my Brighten Up the Gray, but I have some yarn that has been just sitting around my Brighten Up, Cal. I have some yarn that's just been sitting around, and so I'm trying to figure out what to do with it. So I've got this rainbow, and it's just been sitting on my desk, like wishing for something. So it's 200, it's a fingering weight, it's a 200 yards. So I'm like, I want to do something with this, but...
Does it stripe, or is it a variegated, or what is it?
I think it is a stripe. It's the Sausalito. Yarn.
I don't remember what that does.
I don't either. I've never had, I've done like their solid, but I've never done like their color gradiating. So we'll see what happens.
Well, it's very bright.
It is very bright. The other thing I'm looking for is some neon oranges, I think, in my stash. So.
Excellent.
All right. I don't have anything else. I'm just waiting for the next blizzard as I grade in my pajamas.
That's beautiful. Well, happy spring break.
Thank you. I plan to enjoy it. My students and I were complaining this week that spring semester is a misnomer, because we won't get actual spring nice weather until about May during finals week.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You're absolutely right.
All right, so it's a short episode this week. I hope people don't mind. We'll keep it varying to keep people happy or whatever works for us. I hope you have safe travels too.
Thank you.
All right. Keep showing us your Brighten Up the Gray. There was a spinning one that came up on Instagram, and that one looked fascinating and bright colors, by Winemaker's Sister. So I haven't checked back lately on the Brighten Up the Gray hashtag.
Yay.
All right. Have a good day. Bye.
Bye.